In the mushroom world, you have two kinds of mushrooms. The cultivated ones, the ones that you can reproduce in a gardening situation, and the wild ones. And up until now, the wild ones, we have not been able to reproduce and to cultivate. For example, cepe or porcini in Italian, for example, morels, for example, chanterelles, matsutake, mushrooms like that. Then you have a whole family of honshimiji to shiitake that can be reproduced, and they are cultivated. It's a spore. You know, mushroom starts with a spore. It's a fungus. It's a spore. And so you have all kind of different style of it. In the chanterelles, you have the totally open ones. You know, the ones that are open like a flower. Little bit like this. And then some still a little bit closed. And then we have the, what we call in French, tête de clou, nail head. This is what the 4-star restaurant want. They want the little size, very, very perfumey, very flavorful. This goes great with a little cream and any white meat dishes, like veal or pork or rabbit. This is totally great with it. And you saute it very quickly, you know, cut it in quarter pieces and saute it with, in a little butter or oil. In my part of France, we saute everything in duck fat. And it's really good. This is called the chicken of the wood. Chicken of the wood. It comes, you know how it grows on the side of the trees? You know those things? Okay, that's how it comes. This, you know what this is? Eh? Matsutake. Who said? Nice. Okay. Very perfumey. In Japan, people love that mushroom because it smells so nice and perfumey. And this is, when they are closed like that, it's a very, very expensive mushroom. When they start to open up, they get a little less expensive. But they are, after, I believe, after the truffle, they are the most expensive mushrooms around. Then we have Boletus edulis or the cepe, the porcini, which it's not quite the season right now. So what I do at home, I cheat. I have my porcini flour, and I take some of the cultivated mushrooms, and I put a little bit of my magic powder on top of it at the end of the cooking, and it gives a really, really stronger flavor to my domestic mushrooms. This is a good idea of how they come. You know, it's all the honshimiji family. This we call trumpet royal, royal trumpet. But really, it's the same version, you know, of the species of the same spore. All those 4 mushrooms here. Do you know about this one? No? Okay, this we call the lobster mushroom. For an obvious reason, it's just the color of the mushroom. Lobster mushroom. Very rich, available only in the summer, in the woods locally. What we tend to do is we follow the seasons of the wild mushrooms. The domestic, you have a big tradition of raising in Pennsylvania. That's where we get, most of us get the domestic cultivated mushrooms. But the wild ones, we follow the seasons. For example, the morels, the first morels come from Turkey and Russia at the end of February, beginning of March, the beginning of spring. And then we follow them, Serbia, Croatia, Italy, France, Spain, Portugal, and then here, Michigan, and then the West Coast. And on the West Coast, you know, from British Columbia, from the Canada side down to California, you have morels all summer long, basically. And so that's how we follow the, so talk about local food. With a mushroom, it doesn't work that way. Chefs want as long a season as possible on their mushroom, on their wild mushroom, so we have to find it where it is at the time the season gets there. One last one. Hen of the wood, also known as maitake. In Japanese, is maitake. This is cultivated, but this one we import from Japan. Because in Japan, they have this way of cultivating it so that they are exactly like that every time. And so when you slice them, I'm going to show you. When you slice them as a slice, you can roast them whole, and you make a beautiful plate with that. Just brush it with olive oil, salt and pepper in the oven, and it makes a really beautiful mushroom dish.